So a few months ago, I made the unfortunate mistake of losing my AirPod Pros, and I was absolutely gutted because these are really quite expensive headphones, and I only ended up having them for about a year before I lost them. So I was just really gutted to essentially have thrown 200 quid down the drain on these expensive earbuds that I'm just going to go off and misplace somewhere and leave them on a train somewhere. I did try and track them down on Find My, however I didn't realise that I'd lost them until a little bit too late and I hadn't locked the AirPod Pros to my iPhone. So I was looking around and deciding which earbuds I should go ahead and buy. There was no way that I was going to drop another 200 quid on AirPods. I don't think that I deserve to treat myself again to really expensive earbuds. However, I do use earphones a lot. I do a lot of traveling for work. I use them for calls whilst working and running, and I just get a lot of use out of the earbuds. So I still wanted to get a good and reasonably expensive pair. So I was looking around on the internet and deciding which pair of earbuds I should buy. And I decided to go for the Nothing Ear ones, mainly because they offered fairly similar features to the AirPod Pros for about 40% of the price. Ultimately, I think that the Nothing Ear ones offer about 80% of the quality of the AirPod Pros for about 40% of the price. So in this video, I may appear to be particularly critical of these earbuds, and that's only because arguably I'm comparing them to the best in class earbuds that you can buy that are considerably more expensive. So I do think that these are really good earbuds. I'm going to start off with audio quality, noise cancellation and transparency mode. So the general audio quality of these earphones is fantastic. I am no audiophile, right? I think that these sound really good. I'm really happy with the sounds of these earphones, and I barely notice the difference between these and the AirPod Pros. However, I think where you're really going to start to notice that these are the cheaper earbuds is when you're using features like active noise cancellation. So if you've ever used AirPod Pros, you'll know that the noise cancellation is just out of this world. If you're on a tube or on a plane, the AirPod Pros do a fantastic job at cutting out all of the background noise. These, on the other hand, they do an okay job. The noise cancellation is alright. It's not amazing by any means. However, I do think that the noise cancellation suffices. I would say a few things that I particularly dislike about the noise cancellation on these headphones is if you're running with the noise cancellation on, sometimes you can get some very strange wind noise that coming through. I find that a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit off-putting at times. Usually when I run, I just have to make sure that the noise cancelling is turned off. And transparency mode isn't that great either, if I'm being honest. So it sounds a little bit more artificial compared to the AirPod Pros. It's not as loud. It's much more difficult to hold a conversation with someone in a shop, for example, if you've got these on transparency mode. Again, I know I'm sounding really critical, but I think what really matters with these is when you've just got them on regular mode. These earbuds will definitely shine on regular mode, and they're very comparable to the AirPod Pros. So in terms of latency, if you are watching a YouTube video or something, you will notice an ever so slight delay. So I am on an iPhone, just to make that clear. It might be different if you're using an Android device. However, if I am watching a YouTube video, there is an ever so slight delay between sort of the mouth of the person talking on the YouTube video and it going into my ears. However, you do quite quickly get used to this, and if you've downloaded the app, you can put these into low latency mode. I don't notice too much of a difference between normal mode and low latency mode, so it is just worth noticing that these might not be the best for gaming or video editing or things like that. In terms of the microphone quality, I've used these for calls at work. I've also used them for calling family and friends, and I've never received any complaints in terms of the microphone. Here is a really quick audio sample recorded with the Nothing Ear ones, just so you can sort of get a flavour of how good the microphone is. Alright, so here is a test of the Nothing Ear 1 microphone quality. So now that I've talked about the audio quality, let's take a look at the case and I'll give you my opinions on the design. So the case itself is a bit chunky, I'll be honest, compared to the AirPod Pros, but it still fits in your pocket really comfortably, and I found that it's quite a durable case, so I don't particularly look after them the best I can, and the case looks fairly good despite me just chucking it in a backpack or in the same pocket as my keys, etc. The case opens and feels really quite durable, and it closes with quite a satisfying snap. In terms of the buds, I think these buds are top notch. So they are a fairly similar shape and ultimately designed to the AirPod Pros. I think that it's possible that they've drawn some inspiration there. I'm going to say that's a good thing. These fit in my ear perfectly. I didn't have to change the tip size or anything like that. They just fit in really comfortably, and yeah, they work very comfortably in my ears. However, probably my biggest complaint with these earbuds is the touch controls on the side. So on the AirPods, you'd squeeze the stem to activate noise cancelling or to pause a song or anything like that. And that worked really well. It actually prevented you accidentally pausing songs or activating features that you didn't want to activate. These earbuds have got touch controls on the side of the buds. And for me, this is the most frustrating part of these headphones. So if I'm at the gym or I'm running or something along those lines and they sort of start to wriggle a little bit out of my ear, every time I readjust them, I will tap and accidentally pause a song. Or if I'm on a phone call with a friend whilst walking and I feel the need to readjust the headphone, again, if I accidentally tap them, I will hang up on them. Personally, I would just like to turn off all of the touch controls because they're more annoying than I find useful. You've got a little bit of control to turn off some of the touch controls on the app. However, you can't turn them all off. So my one frustration is the touch controls, and I just wish I could turn them all off. In terms of water resistance, these aren't rated to be waterproof or water resistant. However, I did drop them in the sink whilst doing the dishes the other day, and they work fine after I've worn them in the rain, like quite heavy rain, and again, they've survived that. So I don't think you really need to be too bothered about sweat or using them in the rain. So they will definitely survive those two use cases. Sure, if you drop them in the ocean or they go through the wash, they might not be so happy. But yeah, a few seconds in the sink or a heavy rain shower, they survive great. So whilst I've really highlighted on some of the shortfalls of these earbuds, that's only because I'm comparing them to earbuds that are considerably more expensive. Ultimately, I think that the Nothing Ear One is 80% of the quality of the AirPod Pros for about 40% of the money, and for me, it suits my needs perfectly. I would genuinely feel comfortable recommending these over the AirPod Pros, especially for someone who doesn't travel on the train or planes very much because the active noise cancellation isn't quite as good. But for listening to music at home, at the gym, whilst walking, etc., these are plenty good and will definitely do the job for the 80 quid. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you found it informative. I'm going to be uploading plenty more tech themed videos in the future, so if you are interested, please do subscribe. All the best, thank you.